class act, strong, clever and victorious. Gerhard Steinhauser announces himself as a big player in road racing, and Germany have a new potential hero to celebrate. What a win from Steinhauser.
Another opportunity for the sprinters after some very difficult days in the saddle. 178 kilometres to a big finish in the beautiful city of Padova. An opportunity for Caden Groves and Caleb Ewan to find their first victory, or perhaps for Jonathan Milan to make it 4 wins at this edition of the Giro d'Italia. The race was waved off at kilometre 0 in pouring rain as the race dropped down for 14 kilometres to the foot of the first climb of the day. A very attacking opening to the race saw the peloton split in 2, but when they hit the climb, 4 riders went clear. 2 from Poggi Cometa, featuring Mirko Maestri and Andrea Pietrabon. Mikel Honoré and Filippo Fiorelli of VF Group Bardiani made up the 4. Over the first climb of the day and down onto flatter roads, it was Lidl Trek and Soudal Quickstep who started predominantly to set the pace in the peloton. They never got much of an advantage though. 1 minute and 22 seconds. They're headed to the first sprint of the day. Pietrabon adding to his tally in the intermediate sprint standings. As they wended their way towards the Inter-Giro sprint. Juan Pedro Lopez, joined by Tudor Pro Cycling as well. Florian Stork joining in the pace setting for Alberto Dainese, hoping to bring it back for a bunch sprint and keeping the breakaway on a very tight rein all day. Lidl Trek then approaching the Inter-Giro sprint, still riding on the front as the gap came down and ebbed and flowed. But it was Filippo Fiorelli who came out from the wheels to roll over the Inter-Giro in first place to extend his lead in the Inter-Giro overall standings at the finish. After that then, with the gap still lurking at around about 23 seconds, Edoardo Affini saw the opportunity to blast across and join the 4 riders at the front of the race inside the last 55 kilometres. A battle then between Pietrabon and Fiorelli for the last bonus sprint, going the way of Filippo Fiorelli, as Edoardo Affini, with the other 4 riders from the original breakaway, held on to a precious but very slender advantage in the last 30 kilometres. They were dangling off the front, with the bunch unwilling to close that gap definitively until they got to within the last 10 kilometres or thereabouts. But eventually they were swept up as UAE Team Emirates with Lidl Trek and the Maglia Ciclamino shut down the breakaway, and the expected bunch sprint started to unfold. The sprinters' trains piloting their main men through a series of tightening chicanes and in towards the final kilometre.
Consonni looking round to see where Milan is. Milan at the moment is nowhere. He's detached from his lead-out man. Lidl Trek for once have not got things right. Caden Groves is isolated now on the wheel of Hugo Hofstetter.
They might have to reconfigure here and go, but Consonni is a long way back. He's going to have to find some space up the inside. It's only about 400 metres to go. They look for their leader. They can't find him. Well, this is very interesting. Where is Milan? He's about 15th back now. He's going to have to find something special as Gaviri goes long. Hofstetter also there as well. Hofstetter goes in the centre with Dainese on his wheel.
Hofstetter, Dainese, here comes Caden Groves. Is it finally going to be the day for Groves? Groves hits the front. Malia on the right-hand side of the road. Dainese in the mix. Milan with the lunge. Milan! Milan and Malia takes the win by a whisker. By a whisker from the Maglia Ciclamino.
Soudal Quickstep with victory number 3 in this edition of the Giro d'Italia. The champagne corks flowing once again. Timberlier top of the pile, Milan in second place, and Caden Groves still looking for his first win in third. No change in the general classification. Tadej Pogacar continues to lead the Giro d'Italia by 7 minutes and 42 seconds with Thomas in third. And the lead for this man in the Maglia Ciclamino is virtually unassailable now, 127 points to Caden Groves. Tadej Pogacar continues to hold a grip on the King of the Mountains competition as well, with no change in the top 10 here. And no change either Antonio Tiberi with a lead of 41 seconds to Timo Allensman in the white jersey competition.